Hey everybody, we're the Solis family, and these are moments from our around the world trip with our two kids. We first made our way to South America, then North America, and then over to Asia.
We started in China, made our way across Asia, down into the eastern part of Africa, and now we're transitioning to Europe. But first, our flight to Turkey.
Transcontinental flights are often long and not often direct. And that was the case as we moved from Africa to Europe.
However, if you can book a flight with a sufficiently long layover, you can have a stopover on your trip and get to see two places for the price of one. For us, it ended up being two countries for the price of one.
One of my favorite parts about doing this trip is that we get to try so many different airlines. And so today we're trying Turkish Airlines. To Istanbul. Pardon my face. Now let's hope no one regrets booking this very long layover after red eye and very little sleep since we hung out with our friends in Dar. I'm hoping that we can go see the city for a few hours, some of the mosques, the bazaar, maybe eat some good food. That doesn't sound that hard, right?
We intentionally picked Turkish Airlines so we could do just that. And we had a long layover in Istanbul, which is a fascinating and exciting city dating back 2,500 years.
And long layovers are really a great way to get kind of a sampling of the city and see if you want to visit longer term. We've done this in previous travels when we visited Beijing, Tokyo, Singapore, Bogota, just to name a few.
We clearly have some energy to burn off. Let's do this right.
There are a few things to consider in your layover math, including time to process your passport or visa if you're not a citizen of that country, which we're not. And most foreign visitors are required to get a visa going into Turkey. Now, you can save a little bit of time by applying for one in advance, or you can just get it when you arrive at the Istanbul airport.
Okay, we're through immigration. We have our visas, we checked some bags, we had a snack. There was a little bit of hesitation about going into the city, but we're doing it. We're hitting this metro.
Yep, time to get our metro pass and go and see some stuff.
Some stuff, yeah. Some food, maybe more food.
Yeah.
Another thing to consider in your layover math is how to store your luggage. So for example, if you have carry-on baggage that you don't want to bring into the city or whatever it is that you want to check out, you have to store that. And also how long it's going to take for you to leave the airport to get to whatever it is that you want to check out.
So really, you probably need about 8 hours for your stopover if you're going to leave the airport, because you have to make time for the paperwork, and as Martine says, maybe finding a locker at the airport, then taking some sort of transportation into the city center or another area of interest, plus doing it into reverse. But the good thing is a lot of airlines, if you search enough, can offer you up to 24 hours in that city for no extra charge. And really, you can do a lot with that time. So much that there are numerous airports and airlines around the world that actually offer formal tours if you have a long enough layover. And Istanbul was that way, except we got there just a little bit late that we missed the last window, so we just ended up taking public transportation into town.
You can also take an Uber or a taxi, but we're opting to save some dollars, and maybe we'll do that on the way back depending upon what time it is relative to our flight.
We didn't really have much of an agenda for Istanbul, which is not a bad idea when you're doing a stopover because you don't know if your plane's gonna get in late. It's a good idea not to book anything formal. So we just ended up strolling around the historic section, which is home to the Grand Bazaar, the Blue Mosque, and as it turns out, a lot of really good food.
Ooh, I definitely need one of these guys. Living large.
When in doubt, if you have a long layover and you don't have any plans like us, you can always just walk around and eat anything that looks good.
Corn's always a good idea. I'll eat corn anywhere.
You still got your tooth, Nana?
You feel your front tooth, baby? You got some things on your teeth.
I got food in my teeth. Last stop before we go, the bakery. I think that's all we have for steam. Back to the airport. I need a nap.
After taking the red eye into Istanbul, this was plenty of activity for what energy we had left, and it was also sufficient to whet our appetite for a future and hopefully much longer visit to Turkey. And honestly, we're so glad that we stopped.
And now we're heading further into Europe. We'll see you in Croatia.